Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Integrity Racing League here on Saturday night at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, historic Indianapolis Motor Speedway for that matter. Always good time when we come here to the Indianapolis Speedway, and it's always a good time when the Integrity Racing League is on your TV or your computer or whatever you happen to be watching this on here. And as always, I am joined by my partner in crime, Mr. Trevor Cameron. What's up, Trevor? How you doing tonight?
I'm not doing too bad tonight, Mr. Chad. I'm looking forward to a nice, exciting race here. I'm looking forward to actually not having been on a short track, so we actually have some time to kind of give you guys some backgrounds on some of these drivers in this wonderful league here where we're not rushed for time because we have a little bit longer lap times. But I've been watching these guys practice, and I'm seeing a lot of problems when these guys are going side by side through these corners here, so I'm expecting a little bit of action happening in these long corners here because it seems to narrow up awful quick when they get in there.
Absolutely, it does, especially down there in turn number 1, which is where will most likely be our action spot here tonight, Trevor. So a lot of high speeds that they carry down into that turn, and these guys, like you're saying, too wide, usually a little bit sketchy going down into that turn, so we'll have to see how these drivers handle that. A pretty good size field here tonight, actually. We got 30 cars, maybe even 31 that are out here right now, and we'll be racing here tonight. Qualifying currently underway, and we'll give you guys the full field rundown here when it's all completed and we get ready to grid up here. So welcome tonight, ladies and gentlemen. A good race on hand for you. 85 laps around this big 2.5-mile racetrack. And we do have weather now that will play in effect a little bit here, Trevor, tonight. So just want to give a quick update on the weather, I guess. I'm going to turn into a weatherman for a couple of seconds here, but it's currently cloudy and 78 degrees out here tonight with the humidity around 57% and 1 mile per hour winds from the east. And the wind will change throughout the night or day.
So it should be interesting. I don't know. I mean, that seems like a pretty standard day here, you know, with your 78 degrees and not much wind. So I don't think that'll really play into these setups. This is, of course, as we've mentioned each and every time we're on the air here, this is a fixed setup league, so everybody has the same set of wrenches and adjustments going on underneath the hood. Assuming they haven't actually left any wrenches underneath there, because that'd be bad. But so everybody's got the same machine underneath there, so it's going to come down to driver skill and how they handle these beasts. Look, I know you took a couple laps a little bit earlier. Looks like it's a little bit on the loose side, which is pretty standard. But these are some pretty big corners, so I don't know if that'll play in too bad, unless we run into that situation like we mentioned earlier, where you end up too wide, you get a little loose twitch, and then all of a sudden that corner shuts off, and hopefully there's not a bunch of people coming in behind you.
All right, Trevor, we're getting ready for this excitement that you were just talking about there, but right now we're going to go trackside for the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The trucks are now lining up here on the front straightaway at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So let's meet the 30 drivers who will begin tonight's Integrity Racing League here at Indianapolis. So on the pole, and I don't think it's any surprise there, Mr. Cameron, will be the number 34 machine of Matt Busa, and to his outside, that number 77 machine who's been fast here as of late and last week's winner, Andrew Fayash III.
Starting in row 2, we have the 88 of Michael Duell and the 74 of Michael Guest.
Rolling off fifth tonight will be the number 91 between of Cody Kutzner, and to his outside, Christopher Sela.
Starting in 7th, we have the 08 of Tommy Harris and the 8 of Anthony Yankello.
Brian Harvey rolls off from position number 9 to his outside, Marcus Lambert in the number 96 machine.
Rolling off in 11th, the 01 truck of Drew Carroll and the 18 of Hunter Bowles beside him.
Rolling off in lucky number 13 position is that 89 machine of Trevor, let's see here, Asworn Earth? I don't know. I probably just killed that. But anyways, to his outside will be the number 26 machine of Daniel Holloway.
In 15th position, we have the 71 of Neil Froelich, and we have Papa Fife in the 63, starting in 16th position.
Rolling off 17th will be Chris Freeman in the number 17 truck. That seems fitting. To his outside, the number 44 machine of James Hickson.
In 19th position, we have the 94 of Alan Roll, and we have Christian Pedersen in the 23, starting in 20th.
Rolling off 21st in the number 04 machine will be Ryan Wells. To his outside, the 31 of Jeff Barger.
The 36 truck of Jacob Fife rolls off in 23rd position. In 24th, we have the 3 of Patrick Davis.
Ruth Snowing will roll off in the number 69 machine from 25th starting position. Nick Stoller to his outside in the 00 in 26th position.
27th, we have the 4 of Chance Manning and the 14 of Robert Sharp in 28th position.
Marshall Gabel will roll off 29th in the number 12, and Blade Witt in the number 9 will round out the 30 truck field, and he will be starting shotgun on the field here tonight. So that is your 30 drivers that are lined up here tonight for what should be an awesome race, with me and Trevor up here, and me being Chad Dalton up here in the booth. And 85 laps here, Trevor. 4 corners around this track that are fairly unique. And they will be tricky, as we were talking about there before the national anthem, or you were anyways, about how these guys have been a little loose and fighting their trucks a little bit, and it gets a little interesting when they enter side by side. So we're going to find out how these double file restarts go here in just a few seconds.
Yeah, getting ready to go green here, so we're about to see how we get started here, and that's going to be the most interesting thing of the night, I think, is once these guys start rolling and see how it rolls out.
Pace car comes off of turn number 4, and it will make that awesome left-hand turn that we all have come to love here. Trucks are going to come down nice and slow. Matt Busa leading them to the line. He's waiting on the flagman to give him the green, and there it is. 34 truck gets a nice, solid jump here on the start, I should say, the initial start of the race. Everyone else gets a decent start here as well as they head off into turn number 1. Looks like everyone's clean so far.
Yeah, so far I was waiting for that to see how they made it through that first corner. So far, so good with a couple of these guys too wide. Everybody's giving each other a lot of room. So far, no problems.
Yeah, very good first 2 corners by all 30 drivers here in the field. So good start there, especially though for that 34 truck. He's already worked himself out to, I would say, a little over a half a second lead just in 3 turns.
Yeah, and that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to get away from this crowd so he could get up there and get some fresh air and not have anybody around him and not worry about that little bit of a wiggle or a little bit of a loose to take out his truck. So he's exactly where he wants to be, as he's going to lead the first lap of this race.
And hopefully, for him anyways, he'll be leading the last lap of the race when we get down to it. Right now, though, the first 4 trucks single file, bit of a battle back here for 5th. Anthony Yankello under fire, and he looks like he'll surrender that spot to the 96 of Marcus Lambert coming out of turn number 2. So a good start there for the 96 truck, moving up a couple of spots here very early. He actually started back in 10th place, Trevor, so he's on the move here in the early stages.
Yeah, and just an update here. I'm looking at the flag stand. It looks like the 12 truck of Marshall Gabel is being given a black flag. I did not catch on the race chatter what that was for, but he's going to have to come in and serve that, and that's going to be costly at the beginning of this race.
Yeah, absolutely. Lap 1 already being black flagged. Again, we're not quite sure why. Maybe he changed lanes before the restart, or the start-finish line, rather. Not quite sure, but we do have a bit of a battle here between the 91 and the 88 for second place. Of course, Michael Dole comes in as your points leader here in the Integrity Racing League, and no stranger to the front of the field. But he does have a little bit of fire from another guy who's moving up here fairly quickly. The 91 there, Cody's moved up 2 spots already here in the early 3 laps.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just taking I say absolutely too much. I think that might be something that I caught from you, because I think that was something you did all the time. So I'm going to go with the absolutelys here. I was just taking a look back at the tape to see if I could find out where that black flag came from.
Well, while you are doing that, I want to point out that pretty much the entire field at the moment is single file. Everybody kind of figuring out where their trucks might be handling really well or not so well. And good, again, lap 4, very early race, very big track. All these guys are trying to figure out what their trucks are giving them right now. So, and actually, as I look at the entire field go by here on the front straightaway, from our point of view, everyone is single file right now. So not much going on right now, but again, all these drivers trying to figure out what they've got and to see if anyone can run down that 34 truck, because he has so far been the class of the field, already a half a second lead. Maybe a little more as they exit turn 3, of the leaders do anyways.
Yeah, and I'm just taking a quick look down pit road here, and Marshall Gabel has come in to serve that penalty, although he seems to be sitting in his pit stall. He slid through it initially, and also the 44 truck of James Hickson has come down for a pit stop and taken on 4 tires, and he's on his way back out onto the track.
And we'll have to see if we can find out why the 44 machine there came down pit road for an early stop. Maybe he made a little contact with the wall or something, so we'll have to see what happened there. We did have a change for position there while Trevor was giving us that update. Andrew Fayash III jumped into the 3rd spot and is now setting his sights on that 88 machine. So Andrew Fayash, seems like the first few laps he was just kind of riding around, getting the feel for the truck, letting his tires come in. Now he is on the move, as is the 96, continuing to make a move. Marcus Lambert now goes around the 91 for 4th position. And
I've checked with race control, and it was indeed a changing lanes before the start-finish line that caused that problem. So that was a good call on your behalf there, Chad. That was exactly why he was given that black flag.
See, I'm smart. Battle now for second place is the 77. Wasn't much of a battle. A little bit of give and take there. The 77, Andrew Fayash III, continuing to march forward here as he goes around that 88 machine of Michael Dole. So the 77 now up to second place. He'll see if he can run down that 34 truck and do some work there for the race lead. Do you want to update the fans out there about the 44 truck that we were just talking about? He did catch the fence on lap 2, we believe, in turn 3 there. So looks like his troubles have started earlier than he would have hoped tonight here. So hopefully he can rebound and get a good finish in that number 44 machine.
Yeah, it's unfortunate to get damaged so early on, and he had started in 18th position out of a field of 30, so that was that's unfortunate to lose all that position, and now he is obviously a lap down because of that pit stop, so that's unfortunate, but he is in the lucky dog position currently, so maybe he can get that back if we end up having a caution.
And most of the field continues to be spread out here, Trevor. Everyone minding their manners here at the early goings here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. A little bit of a battle back here as the 23 machine. Christian Peterson is flying actually right now. He just passed a 00 truck, and now he is making a move in that number 23 machine around the 13. So Christian is a man on a mission right now in the early goings. That should put him up to 13th position. Christian started back in the 20th spot, so look for that 23 truck here later on in the race if he can continue to pick him up and put him down like that.
So, single file here. A couple updates. I seem to be the roving pit reporter as I'm sitting up here in the broadcast booth, but just to update our fans here. Jeff Barger in that 31 truck, he has retired from the race and taken his truck behind the ball. Not entirely sure what happened, but that happened, I believe, on lap 1. Also, the 12 truck of Marshall Gabel that we were talking about earlier, who had that black flag, has also retired from the race. It appears that he did not care for that black flag call and decided to call it a day because of that. So that's unfortunate for that 12 team to put in that effort and not get a chance to race.
Yeah, absolutely, Trevor. That's a good call there. So disappointing night for both the 12 and the 31's machine. Also want to point out James Hickson did go a lap down. Obviously for the deal with making contact there with the outside wall and coming down pit road. So if the caution were to come out at any moment, he would be the Aaron's lucky dog in the race here tonight.
Yeah, and taking a look at that truck, it looks like he's up to speed. So he did have to come down and get some repairs done, but it doesn't seem to be too far damaged. So if he did get that lucky dog, he would be able to probably get back up there and mix it up. Because watching him go through a couple of these corners here, yeah, looks like he's up to speed, so I guess he didn't damage the truck too bad.
Which is good to see. So hopefully he can get back up through the field. If he can catch a break with a caution at some point, then get back up there and see what he can do with that truck. And battle for the race lead. Up front, though, Matt Busa, a little bit of a little bit under fire, not too much. Andrew Fayesh, the third, is a couple of car lengths behind right now, and this has actually allowed the top 5 trucks to basically form one big single-file drafting party up here at the front, and they have broken away a lot from the rest of the field, with 6 being 3 seconds behind first place right now.
Well, while everybody is single file here and everything's under control, I think it would be a good time to head to commercial. And don't worry, Chad and I will be watching the action while you guys are watching a little bit of commercials here, and we'll update you on anything that happens while we're gone.
InsideSimRacing.tv, the fastest show on the internet. Sim racing news and reviews since 2007, with new shows every week.
Welcome back to the Integrity Racing League here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. My name is Chad Dalton, joined by Trevor Cameron here in the broadcast booth. We welcome you back here, which has turned into a good battle up here at the front, Trevor. We got 5 trucks here battling for the race lead here at the moment. And the 77 there, right before we came back from the commercial break, thought about going to the inside of the 34. He had a huge draft off of him. 88 was kind of pushing him there, but they couldn't quite make the pass there on the 34. So things stayed the way that they are. The top 5 has not changed since we went to commercial. So, but things are about to change, I have a feeling.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I've also been watching that 34 truck, and he's going through those corners, and I've seen that back end step out on him a few times. So it's not going to take much for that, just that little bit of a mistake, and then that 77 will stick his nose in there, and then hopefully everybody makes it through safe. But these guys are fighting these trucks, regardless of being out in front of the field with this nice lead that they've got going here. They're still really, really wheeling it behind the wheel, I guess.
Good job, Trevor. That's a good way to say that.
I talk for a living.
So 96 truck has also been big time here on the move. He's definitely one of the biggest gainers that we've had tonight, so far as from where they started to where they run right now. And another guy is the 23 machine. Christian Peterson is making a march towards the front, but right now he currently sits about 7.5 seconds behind the race leaders in that 23 truck. But Trevor, I'm telling you what, he has gained 10 spots thus far in the race, and is only about a second or so away from jumping into the 9th spot. So if we get a caution, that 23 truck might be one to contend with.
Yeah, definitely. Back up front here, I mean, the 77 was so close to that 34 trying to get around him, but decided, I think discretion's the better part of valor there, and decided to back off because he was a little bit in there. And also, we were talking about the 44 truck earlier because he had that earlier contact, and he had some electrical issues and had to pull it off the track there, and he has now gone 4 laps down, unfortunately, because of that. So he's having a hard time tonight.
That he is, and it's a shame to see. So his bad night is getting slowly worse. We do have a bit of a battle here back here, Trevor, in the back of the pack, about 18th position or so. The 17 machine is currently under. Whoa, boy, we got a truck sideways.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah, coming off the turn there. So the 70, the 00 rather, was trying to make a move there on the 77 and got way out of shape. So good to see him save that truck. And we'll have to see if he can make another run back up and see if he can't grab. That's Nick Stoller, by the way, in the 00 truck. So we'll have to see if he can get back out there to that number 17 machine and make a pass for what would be the 20th position.
Yeah, I was actually watching him, and after he made that great save,
and he's off the pace.
Yeah, I see that, and he was still a little bit twitching. He's on the access road getting off the track, so I'm wondering if something has gone awry underneath the hood of that truck.
Yeah, we're not sure what's going on here with that 00 truck, but he is definitely on the access roads like you were talking about, and it looks like he's going to pull off here. So we'll have to see what happens with the pit stop coming up here in just a second. Also, want to point out that Jim Papa Fife has taken it to the garage as well. So we've got a lot of early exits here, Trevor, and I have to see if you were roaming around the pit road there a little bit earlier ago. Maybe we can get you back down there and find out what happened.
Yeah, I was actually just watching him, and he pulled off into the access road and left. But I think we have some action up front there.
Yeah, we have got a change for the lead. Matt Boosa, the 34, has been passed. Andrew Fayesh, the 3rd, currently leads the race. Now with the 88 all over him. And I think actually the 88 of Michael Dole had even taken the lead there for just a couple of seconds. But now Andrew Fayesh, the 3rd, is the new official race leader. But that 88, I don't know if he's going to let that stay there for very long. Looks to the inside, but not going to get there. 96 follows up into 3rd, put Matt Boosa back to 4th for the moment. And Trevor, these 5 drivers, the top 5 on the track, all over each other. This is like a train of trucks right now.
Yeah, I mean, these guys, they're giving each other a lot of respect and a lot of room here, but just enough room to to be safe out here, as that 96 is all over the back of that 88. I mean, he is bump drafting him through those straightaways there, but I'm wondering if the 34 truck didn't, once he lost the lead, kind of fell back in line, I think, just a bit, because it's not going to cost him anything, and maybe preparing to be able to pull off the track safely for those pit stops that are going to be coming up in a little bit here. So if you're not going to be first, you might as well be a little bit further back and away from any issues that happen up front.
Well, I tell you what, Trevor, that 96 machine of Marcus Lambert he is on a mission. Remember, he started way back in the field, and now he is moving on up here. So we got a bit of a 3 wide action back here around 8th spot.
As they're going into the corner 3 wide, but fortunately the truck on the outside decides to just kind of pull out a line there and make sure everybody survives that, although they're still 2 wide going into the next corner, but they have managed to make that work. That was some good driving by those guys.
Yeah, and that's another guy on the move, the 23 of Christian Peterson, continuing to march towards the front. That's going to put him up into 8th spot now, officially. So tell you what, this 23 truck, man, he is on a mission. So we might have to deal with him before too long.
Yeah, we'll deal with him.
Anyways, Michael Dole, the new race leader now here in the 88 truck. All kinds of action now as things have heated up around the track here. The 88 now in the lead. 96 though, Marcus Lambert looking on the inside. It looks like Michael Dole's going to give him some room down there. We'll have to see if the 96, he is going to pull alongside him as they come out of 1 and head to turn 2. Telling you, Trevor, this 96 truck wants the race lead, and he will get it as they clear, or as he clears rather, the 88 coming off the back straightaway. Now puts a bit of a block as the 88 trying to draft back up alongside. 77 wanted to go up the middle, but thought better of it and backs out of it. Probably a smart move this early in the race.
Yeah, I tell you, these guys, maybe a breakaway of 5 trucks to the front of this pack here, but these guys are up here and they're having some fun and making sure that the fans get a good show with these guys slicing and dicing. But we now seem to have straightened things out with the 96 in first, the 88 in second, and the 77 in third, although that 5th position and 4th position seem to be not quite done yet.
Yeah, these 2 guys still going after, but now they settle back in. So now we're back to a single car train. That, remember though, Trevor, 96 machine started 10th tonight. Marcus Lambert, he has worked up in just 20 completed laps, worked his way up to the lead. So that 96 truck is pretty fast here tonight, and I guarantee that you're going to have to go through him in order to try and get the win if you want to, if you're one of these guys back here directly behind him. But Michael Dole now getting a bit of a draft. He might be challenging for the lead here in a lap or 2.
Yeah, actually, just looking through my my score sheet here, the 96 truck was only 9th fastest in practice, so I wonder if he was holding his cards a little bit close to the vest to make sure everybody didn't know how strong of a truck he had, but didn't show a lot of strength in the practice session, but he has certainly shown it out here on the track.
And look at him swinging all the way to the bottom here, folks. What he's doing is he's trying to break the draft from the trucks behind him, which, at the moment it's not working all that well because they're still right behind him. But when you see him fading out like that and all these trucks fan out, that's they're trying to break all the draft off so they can attempt to break away from the rest of the field. So he'll probably do it again here on the back straightaway. Or not, what do I know?
Or not.
But that's what he's doing. For those of you out there that may wonder why all of a sudden he's just turning off to the left. So he's trying to break the draft and get a little separation from the guys behind him. But right now he's only got about a half a truck length of lead, and that 77 truck held low to the back bumper of the 88 as it come off turn 4.
Yeah, and that 77 truck, to update everybody, he was last week's winner at Irwindale, so he is. We know he's a fast truck for sure, and he is coming off a victory last week, so he's probably hungry to see if he can make it 2 in a row.
Absolutely, it always puts a little bit of a confidence builder in yourself when you can win back-to-back races. Heck, even if you can just win 1, but especially when you can win 2 in a season and make them back-to-back. So it is a good race here, heating up at the front of the field. 96 put about a truck length race lead now on that 88 machine. I tell you what, Trevor, when those guys were battling here, our top 5 there a few laps ago, that allowed guys like Patrick Davis and Christian Peterson to gain a little bit of time on this lead group. They gained about a second or so, but they're still about 5.5 or so behind. But that 23 truck, Trevor, continuing to move towards the front. I'm going to put him in P6 when they cross the start-finish line here. He's in there already, but the official scoring will be updated. So move Christian Peterson up 1 more spot. Do want to point out while we have a moment here, though, Trevor, that today is the 1-year anniversary or happy birthday or whatever you want to call it that the Integrity Racing League has been in business. So happy birthday to the Integrity Racing League here. 1 year ago today, the league was formed, and they've been very successful since, as you see all the race leaders fan out here on the back straightaway. So just wanted to wish everyone here, all the admins and everyone that has made this league possible, a happy birthday and a big congratulations for the success that it has become thus far in the year.
Yeah, absolutely. It was. I know Jacob, when he had started this league up, his intention was to make sure that he had a league where a lot of people could go out there and drive hard and show respect to each other. And I think from the broadcast that we've seen, where the way these guys race each other, I think he's been very, very successful in that. So congratulations to Integrity Racing League on going out there and racing out there hard for a year and having some pretty good races as we've seen this year with the broadcast that we've been doing so far.
Oh yeah, for sure. We've seen some great broadcasts thus far, and we're going to see a lot more coming your way here once we get into the fall swing, so to speak. As we're going to be, I think we're broadcasting all of the chase races as well when all that starts. So it's going to be a good ending of the season here. You're going to see them all right here with me and Trevor up in the booth for the most part, and looking forward to all of those. But Trevor, we're going to be getting close here over the next 5 or so laps for some green flag pit stops as our race leader dives back to the bottom. Marcus Lambert trying to break that draft, as I was talking about there a minute ago. And doesn't seem to be working all that well because the Andrew Fayash actually gained a little bit of time on him there as they went down the straightaway, but lost it when they went into the turn. So green flag pit stops got to be coming up soon here, Trevor. Be interesting to see who comes out of the pit stops a winner, because I tell you what, very narrow pit stop or pit lane for that matter that we have here, and mistakes can be made and have been made in the past, as well, anyone who has watched a race here at Indianapolis. So tricky pit road. Be interesting and curious to see if anyone makes any mistakes, and if they don't, then who comes out the winner of the pit road.
Yeah, well, and the thing too is the fact that it's such a long pit road, and you spend a lot of time getting down to speed and going down that pit road here. So even as a simple matter of not being able to get it really close to that pit limit speed or pit road speed as you're going down there is going to cost you time on the track. So it's going to be whoever has their kind of their in and out lap and gets that down to perfection, then that's going to have a big effect.
Oh yeah, absolutely. 55 mile per hour pit road speed as well. Bit of a battle for the race lead. 77, Andrew Fayash III wants it. Going to get a bump draft here from the 88 of Michael Dole. These two think they're back at Daytona or something, but looks like Andrew has the preferred line heading into the turn. But I tell you what, 96, Marcus Lambert is tough to pass right now here, Trevor. He is putting up a fight on that outside lane, which is tough to do.
Yeah, I'm surprised that he's able to hold it off out there, because, I mean, that preferred line on the inside is definitely the way to get around this track. And we have Matt Busa pulling off for his pit stop on the pit road.
34 machine, Matt Busa, the first one here, and he had lost a lot of time. It looked like he'd even lost, like you had mentioned there earlier, he was a little loose, so it looked like he had lost those tires, so he's coming back down here. This is the first time that he's coming down, I guess I should say. Correct myself there to the service of his crew, and he's got to go all the way down the pit road in that 34 truck to the first pit stall after winning the pole. So we'll see. I would imagine that he will take 4 tires, but we'll have to see what the crew chief has up his sleeve here, pitting on lap 28 for the 34.
Yeah, and meanwhile, the 77 has managed to make his way around the 96 truck, so we have a new leader as we come around turn 4 as the 96 is falling back all the way to 3rd and about to hit to 4th position here. So he's gone from the lead to 4th position in 1 lap, and officially, once we hit the start-finish line, we'll have the 77 as the new leader of the race.
And just to take note there, the 34 Matt Busa fans, he did take 4 tires and made it back out onto the racetrack successfully, to my knowledge at least. So the 34 was our first one to pit on lap 28. Be curious to see where some of the other drivers come down pit road here in the next 2 to 3 laps. So we'll see where all this shakes out. Is that number 34 is going to be very fast here for the first couple laps compared to the rest of the people, as it looks like the 08 of Tommy Harris is in the pits now.
Yeah, and we're gonna, as we get more and more people pacing or dropping off and getting down pit road here. it'll be interesting to see how well they spread it out and how long these guys stay out here. Because I mean, this could end up into a fuel mileage race if there's no cautions to bunch the field up and get everybody ready to go type thing. So it'll be interesting to see if these guys go a little bit longer and if that plays into the end of the race.
Good call, as now we get a little bit of a dive here for the race lead. 88 wants that race lead back, or I'm not sure if he's officially led a lap yet or not tonight, but he took a bold move into turn 1 there, but could not complete the pass. 77, though, gets really loose out of the turn, and the 88 is going to dive to the bottom here and try to complete the pass as they head down to turn number 1, as Anthony Ankello brings this truck into the pits.
Yeah, I'm not expecting to see any strategy plays here with 2 tires or anything. I'm guessing all these guys are going to want 4 tires since we're doing a full run here. So I don't expect to see much strategy playing. The 08, who just pitted, is just right in front of the leaders here. And the 96 looks like he's pulling off as well for his pit stop.
Yep, Marcus Lambert down into the pits. Well, barely got that truck slowed down to 55 mile per hour pit road speed. He started P10 in tonight's race, so he'll have the 10th pit stall here when he gets down there. And like you were saying there, Trevor, a few minutes ago, very long pit road. It's very easy to speed, so these guys got to be careful as they come down through here. So looks like most of the leaders are going to start pilling into the pits here in the next lap or two. I'm hearing a report on the radio that the 88 of Michael Dole will come to the pits this time by.
And I believe we'll see the 23 down here as well.
So pit road going to get busy here. These pit crews got to do their jobs, and looks like most of the trucks can go between 28 and 31 laps. So we'll have to keep that in mind as the magic number, so to speak, as we come towards the end of the race. Also the 23 machine and 91. Oh boy, the 23 almost spun it out coming down the pit road. But are getting down to the pit road speed, I should say. But we've got 5 trucks now on pit road.
All right, so that leaves the 77 out in front of this pack. Still yet to make his pit stop, although I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't come down this time, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, I have a feeling that we'll see him here on pit road. 80 Michael Dole comes into his pit stall, as does the 91 and the 23, all here on the pits, as they were all 3 of these trucks were running in the top 6 positions here before they came down pit road. CP with a great pit stop there in that 23 machine, as well as the 91 and the 88. So we'll have to see where all of these come out, and also we're going to have to keep an eye on the man who pitted before everyone, which was the 34 Matt Busa. Right now, 34 has only worked his way back up to 14th, so still a lot of trucks left to go here for the cycling of green flag pit stops. And Andrew Fayesh III is on pit road.
Yeah, and I was watching his entry there, and it seemed a lot more cautious than other drivers. He got down to pit speed a little earlier than everybody else, so it'll be interesting to see if he comes out in the lead, because he definitely took a more cautious approach to make sure that he got down to speed properly.
Yeah, that's a good observation there, Trevor. We'll have to keep an eye and see what happens. Also, the 02 is on pit road. Looks like the 17 and the 4 are also on pit road, and I believe maybe the 3 truck as well is on pit road. 3 truck down and away. Looks like everyone thus far not playing any strategy, just taking 4 tires and filling it up.
And actually, just want to give a shout out right now. It looks like the 26 truck of Daniel Holloway is leading this field right now because he has not made his pit stop. So always good to see the 26 truck out front. We've known Daniel for quite some time there, so good to see him having some time out front as he pulls off right now for his pit stop.
He went basically 33 laps there, Trevor, so that's a pretty good run for the 26 there on fuel, but I'm wondering if maybe he might be out of fuel because he is very slow here on the pits, kind of weaving the truck back and forth.
Well, maybe push it a little bit farther, trying to get that, play that fuel strategy, but you're definitely right. He's down to 40 miles an hour, so I don't think that truck is under power right now, but he does make it to his pit stall, so he's going to get some fuel in there and get the guys to refire that truck, and he'll be back out there, so a little bit of time lost, but he still gets to say that he officially led one of these laps here, so good for the 26 truck.
Yeah, always a neat deal to lead a lap for yourself and your sponsors here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Now, back up front, things have cycled now that Daniel has pitted, who was the race leader. That's going to hand the race leader over to the 34 of Matt Busa, who, at the moment, has about a second and a half or so race lead over the new second place man, which will be the 96 of Marcus Lambert, who has about a second or so over Michael Duell, who would be the third place man once timing and scoring updates here. So the 34 truck, who pitted about 2 or 3 laps earlier than everyone else here, Trevor, is made up a good bit of time and put some distance between himself and the rest of the field. But I'm curious to see if the slightly older tires compared to everyone else will pay off or not now that everything is cycled through.
Yeah, I'm looking at the lap times from these guys from the beginning of the run to towards the end of the run. It looks like about a half a second, give or take. I mean, although with such a long track, the lap times are a little bit harder to gauge because they vary so much because it's such a long track. But it looks like about a half-second gain on the old tires and new tires. So Matt has had a chance to be out there on those fresher tires a little bit longer, so he may have stretched that out, and that may be a very good play.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to keep an eye on that, Trevor, and see if it stands as it is. But we do want to go ahead and take a moment and update everyone with the current point standings as they came into tonight's race. We didn't get a chance to do that pre-race or throughout the race yet because we've had a lot of green flag racing. But real quickly, the point standings coming into tonight, Michael Duell is your championship leader and currently rides in the third position. He's 23 points ahead of Jacob Fife. Matthew Wright, who I don't believe is here tonight at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, came in third in points tonight. Jeff Barger, who exited early, will not finish tonight's race, came in fourth in points. Matt Busa, who currently leads tonight's race, came in fifth. Brad Patton, who also I don't believe is in tonight's running here at Indianapolis, came in sixth. Bruce Knowing came in seventh. Daniel Holloway, who just led a lap there, is eighth in the championship standings. Jim Popplefythe and Brian Harvey are both tied for ninth, but they round out your top 10 in the point standings coming into tonight's festivities here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Festivities, such a wonderful word to use in this situation here. But that's actually interesting with the point standings here because we have Matthew Wright not in here, Jeff Barger having problems, and Jacob Fife is not having a great race so far. He's a lot farther back in the pack than we're used to seeing him. He's sitting in 14th position currently, so he has not been a strong contender tonight here. So looks like Michael Duell, with his ability to run in that top 5 group all night, is going to be able to extend that point lead unless something happens.
Yeah, right now Jacob Fife is 16 and a half seconds behind the race leader of Matt Busa right now, which is a long ways here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. But speaking of Matt, right now he currently is holding that race lead at about 1.3 or 1.2, somewhere in there, seconds ahead of the 96 of Marcus Lambert. So thus far, Trevor, that pitting a couple laps earlier than everyone else is paying off, and Matt continuing to lead several laps. I do believe he's led the most on the night, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll have to see if anyone else tries to short pit when we get later here in the race for our final pit stops of the night.
Yeah, I've often wondered with that strategy because, I mean, you get out there and you're longer on the tires, but then guys come in and then they have fresher tires than you do for those couple laps here. But I guess the key really is to get out there and get in that fresh air and really put those tires to advantage rather than getting out there and having to fight for position. And it looks like Matt played it perfectly.
Yeah, Trevor, getting those fresher tires does make a difference, and also most of the time, especially at a track like Indianapolis, you can get out there and kind of be by yourself, whereas everyone else is stuck in traffic or battling for position. So you can make up a lot of time there, and I'm hearing a report that the 8 truck here of Anthony Ankello is having a little bit of trouble here, Trevor, as he looks like he has smacked the outside wall.
Yeah, and he's pulling off the track here. It doesn't look like he made too bad a contact, but got loose in the middle of the corner and just kind of lost it a little bit and smacked the wall a little bit, got a bit of damage. Oh, it's a harder hit than I thought it was, but he's definitely pulled into the pits to get that attended to.
Yeah, and actually, Trevor, he's taking it straight behind the wall here, as I think Anthony Ankello is going to pull it off for the night. May have had some internal damage that we are not aware of.
Well, that's unfortunate. We always like to speak about our friend Mr. Anthony Yankello, but he's back in the garage, and not sure if he's going to try to get it back out there or not. But that's an unfortunate bit of. Yeah, it's unfortunate because I mean, he made one little tiny mistake, smacked the wall, and then his race may be done. And that's that's the way it is around here. I mean, long laps, you're racing, and then all of a sudden one little twitch, and your truck's kind of rode off for the night.
Yeah, so hopefully we can see that 8 truck back out on track. But right now, Matt Busa is your race leader. Marcus Lambert, second. Andrew Fayesh, the third, is third. So we're going to step away, take a quick commercial break here on ETV Live Radio at the Indian, or broadcasting. I don't know if we're on the radio. But anyways, we're going to step away for a quick commercial break here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We'll be right back to the Integrity Racing League. Don't go anywhere.
Fans, it's time for those most famous words in motorsports. Drivers, start your engines!
Michael Conti comes up at a corner number 4 to the checkered flag. He wins his first NASCAR race.
With everything from metal favorites to the 80s classic rock like legendary Leonard Skinner, Electric Light Orchestra, Foreigner, and bone-rattling, skull-crushing rock and roll on hard driving radio. Bear Factory, Stone Temple Pilots, Def Leppard, and a whole lot more. HDRadionetwork.com. Take your pick and rock your brains out, dude.
And welcome back to the Integrity Racing League here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, historic and famed racetrack that is. Race leader continues to be Matt Busa, and Trevor, he's putting a bit of a gap there, and a new second place man, Andrew Fayesh III, got around Marcus Lambert while we were in break there. So Matt Busa is the race leader. Do want to take a moment and let you know about Butt Kicker, which is a good sponsor here at the Integrity Racing League. They are sponsoring the Rookie of the Year Award. The Butt Kicker Gamer 2 lets you feel all the action from your games and simulators. Feel the gut-wrenching pound of a machine gun fire, the pounding of chopper blades, explosions, rumble strips, and more. Turn down or turn off your subwoofer and still feel all the bass, even while using your headphones. Give your game some realism. It's a silent subwoofer that lets you feel the explosions, crashes, and special effects. Get the Butt Kicker Gamer 2 at buttkicker.com today. And now, real quickly, as I just mentioned, the Butt Kicker is sponsoring the Rookie of the Year standings, so we'll take a moment here and let you know about the Rookie of the Year standings coming in tonight. Brad Patton, who is not here, is leading the Rookie of the Year standings with Cody Kutzner, who is here tonight, coming home in second right now. Andrew Fayesh III is third in the standings. Mr. Hudson comes into tonight's race fourth. Chris Freeman, who is also here tonight, is fifth. Jeff Chandler is sixth. Patrick Wright is in seventh. Jason Kane is currently in eighth, and Marcus Lambert, who's having an excellent run here tonight, in ninth. And Mr. Ridgway rounds out the top 10 for the Butt Kicker Rookie of the Year standings.
Yeah, and with Mr. Patton not being here tonight, and Cody Kutzner having a pretty decent race, obviously, then as well as Mr. Andrew Fash. Then I know when we were broadcasting earlier in the year, it looked like Brad had this kind of all cinched up, but missing a race here and having some really stiff competition. I don't know anymore. Like, this is going to actually turn into quite a competition at the end of the year, I think.
Yeah, absolutely, Trevor. That's a good observation there. So we'll have to keep an eye on that as we move throughout the remaining broadcasts that we do here. We'll update the fans every week. Matt Busso, though, I'm telling you what, Trevor, he is holding steady right at about a second and a half over Andrew Fash the third, and it's a big battle between second and fourth right now, between the 77, 96, and 88. They are nose to tail, and Cody Kutzner is not too far behind them, just a couple of car lengths as well. So the once top five bumper to bumper to bumper to bumper to bumper is now only a four-car train, with the 34 kind of spoiling it a little bit there for everyone.
Yeah, those guys just can't seem to get right back up to his bumper there. I mean, they're battling it out with each other and sticking together. But Matt has decided, you know what? I don't want to be part of that train anymore. You guys can be the caboose. I'm going to be the engine, and that kind of engine that just doesn't even be bothered to attach to the rest of the train.
Yeah. So 34 doing an excellent job here tonight, coming around to complete 46 laps, starting lap 47 of 85 here tonight. Also want to take one moment to let you know about Pro Powder and Paint, another sponsor that the Integrity Racing League has this season. Located in Ashland, Virginia, Pro Powder and Paint provides quality spray, paint, powder coating, and finishes services to Virginia businesses and consumers. So check them out at propowderandpaint.com. Again, excellent sponsor that the Integrity Racing League has picked up for the season.
Yeah, and taking a look back at this garage here, and it's for a race with no cautions, it is beginning to get a little bit crowded back here by the haulers here, and we've had a few other trucks that have pulled off. It looks like the the 04 of Ryan Wells, easy for me to say, is pulled back in the garage area. The 000 Nick Stoller, we were talking about him having those problems earlier. He is still in the garage area. The 89 of Trevor, I'll let Chad pronounce that name, is also back here. The 71, Neil Froelich. Froelich is also back here. Anthony Ankello in the A truck is still back here as well. So a lot of retirements for a race without any cautions.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Trevor Osborneth, maybe something like that. I don't know. I know I messed it up earlier tonight, and forgive me. I'm not good with names, unless it's the simple ones like Cameron or Dalton or something like that. But
I was gonna say, looking back at the field here. Based on those, we've actually only got 17 trucks on the lead lap right now, which not surprising considering we have not had a caution yet, and we're working lap 49. So not a big surprise that we're getting a lot of guys lapped down here. And Chance Manning right now in the 4 truck is the next truck that'll be going potentially a lap down if things keep going the way they're going. He's only about 8 seconds ahead of the leader as we run right now, with Alan Roll in the 94 truck being the first truck 1 lap down in that lucky dog position currently.
And Trevor, I'm impressed here with the 34 of Matt Busso. He continues to pull away, and part of it is because the 77, 88, 96, and 91 have all been kind of racing each other as they're in that 4-car basically locked draft back there. But Matt Busso is pulling away, which is pretty impressive considering that it's 4 trucks against 1 essentially. And he's gone from about a 1.5 second race lead over the last 4 or 5 laps to now a 2-second race lead over Andrew Fash the third. So, Trevor, this 34 truck, man, he is on a roll here tonight.
Yeah, and I know we've covered it before during the season. Anybody who's been watching these broadcasts as we've been going through this season with the Integrity Racing League knows that we've documented Matt Busso's horrible start to the race or the season. I don't think he'll argue that too much, where he had just a string of really bad luck and had some really terrible finishes. But he's really put it together. And as we went through the standings there earlier, he is up to 5th position in the points. So he's really turned the season around after a disappointing beginning to it.
Yeah, Trevor, 14 starts tonight being his 15th start on the season. He comes into this to tonight with those 14 starts, 6 top 5s, 8 top 10s, and 2 wins. But including tonight's race where he started on the pole, he has now 10 poles on the season. So he's definitely got the speed.
Yeah, and it's he's never his speed has never been in question. It's always been a matter of those situations where a crash will take him out, or you'll have just one thing go wrong and take him away from winner's circle here. But again, perhaps I'm jinxing him with the strong run he's having here tonight, but he's looking like the man to beat by far this evening.
Yeah, these guys continued to fall back, actually, but they have been battling for position. Michael Doole's now the second place man, but they lost a half a second doing this, switching up positions here. Marcus Lambert up to third now. Andrew Fayesh, the third, is now dropped back to fourth. So these guys keep racing each other and have lost about a second as a result to the race leader. So they may have to play some kind of strategy here, Trevor, unless the 34 just has a terrible pit stop, if they want to have a shot at catching him, if we're going to stay caution-free, because they're not catching him at all whatsoever at this moment.
Yeah, and also just to update I had mentioned the 77 truck had that cautious entry to pit lane. He doesn't look like he's cost him any time really on the track, as he's settled into that fourth position there. But maybe if he had been a little bit more aggressive, maybe if he might have spun out. But maybe that time lost, he would have been up there fighting with the 34 truck. But the race is certainly not over. We're probably about 8 laps, give or take, from the next round of pit stops, and that could change everything, because I've seen these guys fight it out. Looks like the 77 is making some moves back there on that 96 truck and passed around.
Yeah, Trevor, that 96 got a little bit squirrely there coming out of 2, and he did a pretty good job of keeping it straight. So 77 taking an advantage. But I tell you what, Matt Busa is like 0.2 of a second every single lap faster than Michael Duell of the 88 there, who is right now in second place anyway. So right now, right at about a 3-second lead is this 34 truck. It's like he's hit the little red button on his dashboard or something, as he is starting to pull away.
Yeah, I wonder if they have push to pass like they do in IndyCar here, and he's the only one who has it.
Well, if he's the only one that has it, he's definitely using it. So he's definitely putting the paint on the rest of the field right now. And also of note, we were following a bit earlier. The 23 of Christian Peterson had been marching his way towards the front after starting 20th. He's currently up to 6th spot, and that's as high as he's gotten, as he has not really been able to catch the tail end of these top 5 here. And he's only about 2 seconds or so behind them, but I think that if the race stays green, in order for the 23 to have a say-so on anything, he may have to take 2 tires here on this last pit stop, Trevor, if he wants to get up there and try and battle for a top 5 finish.
Well, and the thing, too, is the fact that, all we have to do is have one caution, and, all bets are off. Because Matt Busa, with his big lead right now, that's allowing him to run away from this field. But once you bunch these guys back up again, we've seen that these guys can stick with him, and it was just that green flag stop that separated him and gave him that clean air to run away from this field. So, if a caution comes out and we get bunched up again, we know that Matt can't quite run away from the field unless he, uses that speed on pit road and that, that quick, clean stop to get ahead of these guys. So it's certainly not a done deal by any means tonight.
No, absolutely not. Anything can and probably will happen, so we'll have to keep an eye on this. I want to take a moment real quickly and let everyone know that myself and Trevor Cameron do co-host with each other a radio show on Monday nights at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. A little bit of a special show coming up here in the next couple of days. It's July 29th show to be exact. We're going to have iRacing's Sean Sift along for the ride. Do a quick interview with him and chat with all things iRacing related. So you'll want to tune in on Monday night at 8:25 Eastern, because we're going to start a few minutes early just to have enough time to fit in the interview, because Sean has a busy schedule. So a little bit of a special starting time at 8:25 p.m. Eastern Time this coming Monday. But Sean Siff will be joining myself and Trevor, so check us out at www.iracingtodayradio.com and listen live on ETV Live Radio. Yeah,
and fans of the old podcast will know that Sean was one of the guys that I did interview for the old podcast, and he's a very he's a great conversationalist. I'm really looking forward to Monday. It's going to be I'm guessing a great conversation with Sean. So glad to have him on board to spread some information about iRacing from the inside walls. I mean, all you get to do is hear me and Chad talk about stuff from the outside looking in. Well, we're going to get behind those walls and ask some questions of Mr. Siff and see if we can get some answers out of him.
Well, that's the goal. So hopefully that'll be a fun show, and hope everyone out there will tune in as well. So Matt Busa continuing to put some distance. He gained a couple of more tenths here the last couple of laps. He's got a 3.3 second lead, and I mean, Trevor, this is impressive what he's doing here tonight. As we have some leaders pitting.
Yep,
the
96 is pulling down.
Yes. So here we go with the green flag pit stops, which should be the last ones of the night. 91 of Cody Kutzner is also in the pits as well. 30 to go right now, Trevor. So this should put some of these trucks here on the bubble of making it to the end, but they should be able to do it.
Yeah, I'm wondering about that because the 96 was, I don't know, because I mean, I think he only made it, 30 laps, 30 laps on the first run, so it's going to be awful close. Should be able to make it, but I think I'd feel better if I was coming down a couple laps later than this.
Yeah, the 34 should also be coming down the pits here because remember, Trevor, he pitted on lap 28, so he's gone a long ways. It looks like he's pitting right now. So 34 on the pit road here, our little boy. Oh, that kind of scared me.
That was a little close, wasn't it there?
I thought the Ford truck was coming down pit road, and I was like, whoa, you can't make it at that speed. But definitely, it looks like maybe even the 23 machine as well. Christian Peterson is on pit road, so 34 in the pits as well as the 23.
That looks like the group of leaders for this round. I'm guessing we'll probably get a couple more takers on the next round, and that's good that these guys are kind of spreading it out so that these guys aren't fighting with each other for position as they try to slow down, because that could very quickly end in disaster.
Yeah, so 34 right sides up, and it looks like he will take 4 tires as we anticipate most may do here. There might be a couple of attempts at getting just right side tires, as the 94 machine is also now here on pit road, and it looks like the 4 of Chance Manning is also going to stop here into the pits.
Yeah, actually I was expecting the 77 to come down that round because I saw him allow the 88 Michael Duell to get around him there. It looked like he almost led him by to get behind him there. I thought he was setting up for his pit stop, but he went by pit road and did not. So I guess maybe he was just preemptively getting in position, or maybe Michael Duell was just too good for him to get to hold him back anymore.
Well, I would anticipate that these two will come down this time by, maybe even who's the current third place man, the 3 truck of Patrick Davis. We should see all 3 of these guys come down pit road. I don't think they can go too many more laps here, Trevor. I know they've been in a bit of a draft, which is a great helper rather when it comes to saving some fuel there. So we'll see if these guys pull off the pits. Looks like the 88 is definitely going to. Andrew Fayash, though, staying out for one more time, and as is the 3 truck. So Michael Duell here in the pits.
Yeah, and that'll make our leader, the 77 truck of Andrew Fayash, the 3rd, with Patrick Davis in 2nd position as we cycle through here. Probably see, like you said, 77 and 3 the next time by, but definitely anybody who's pitting now is definitely in the safe zone and won't have to come back down pit road unless we have a caution and they want to get some tires on, but fuel will be good for sure.
Yeah, most of our leaders pitted with 29 or 30 laps to go, which is right on the bubble, but I feel like we shouldn't have anybody running out of fuel. I know that a lot of our leaders last time went 31 laps. Not all of them, but a good deal of them. So I would imagine that we should be good. And if my eyes aren't fooling me, I'm thinking the 88 may have just gotten fuel only.
Yeah, I was watching that pit stop as well while you were talking, and I was waiting for the jack man to jack up that truck, and he never did. So yeah, I'm looking at the pit stop right now, and he did not take tires on that. So that is an interesting play. I'm not sure where the strategy is going to play in that one.
Well, he's going to come out. The 88 truck there is going to come out right beside the 34 of Matt Busa, right behind him now, as well with the 91. Boy, the 91 had to dive to the inside there, the 88. So 88 fuel only. made up some time here, Trevor, but I don't know about this strategy. We'll have to see how this plays out. As we're going to queue up a replay here on the 88, let the fans see that. Fuel only stop, very quick pit stop there, but this should cycle things back out, where I would imagine the 34 will be the race leader, but Andrew Fayesh III has not pitted yet, and he is coming down pit road right now. So here comes the 77 of Andrew Fayesh III in the pits.
And he could definitely get some mileage out of those tires and out of that fuel tank. Is again lasting pretty long on that. But looking back on the track, looks like the 3 truck has not pitted yet as well. So he's going to lead a lap here and probably come down pit road next time, I'd imagine.
Yeah, he let the looks like the 01 and the 02 trucks. Convenient that those two are running together, but he let those two by just now. And he is starting to make the run to the pit stop here in the next lap or so, I would imagine, because Patrick Davis has been out there for a very long time.
And I'm watching the 77 pit stop, and he only took right side tires there, so looks like he's going to play some strategy to try to gain up some time. And I like the right side strategy more than the no tire strategy, and looks like he's going to come back. The 34 goes by him as he's on the access road. Whoa, gets a little bit squirrely trying to get back out on the track there, trying to get a little bit excited. He saw the 34 truck and figured he'd get back out on the track, but managed to save it, and he's going to pull in behind the 91 as they cycle through.
Hey Trevor, I'm still watching the 3 truck here. He has not pitted, and he probably just had a mini heart attack because the 01 and the 69 got together entering turn 1 just this past time, and they didn't crash, but they tried to.
They tried to and failed.
Yeah, and then number 3, sure his heart skipped a beat there a minute, but I'm very curious as to why he has not come down pit road here yet, Trevor. He must be getting some fantastic fuel mileage in that Chevrolet, because this is unbelievable, and he will stay out yet another lap.
Well, and I'm wondering now, I mean, when you think about it through, if he goes with a right tire strategy only here, he's not going to need to take as much fuel, so he's probably going to have a pretty quick stop when he comes down there, so because he's not going to need as much fuel, obviously, to get to the end of the race from when he stops. So, you know what? This could play out.
Oh yeah, absolutely, I agree. But it's just surprising that he's been able to go this long. I can't exactly remember. We're going to have to take a peek here and see what lap he pitted at last time. Looks like he pitted about lap 33. So actually, he went a long time last go round. So I guess I spoke too soon about being surprised that he's still out there, because he managed to go 33 laps or so last time by, and that's a pretty good run. So that's about where we're at right now, maybe a little over that.
Yeah, and the 74 truck of Michael Guest, who was running in 3rd position, has now come down for his pit stop, and he's taken 4.
And as the 3 truck is pitting now as well, gets it down to that 55 mile per hour. Did a good job there on his pit entry. So we'll have to see where this shakes out. I would imagine, like you were talking there just a minute ago, Trevor, that he will be taking 2 tires. Also, the 36 of Jacob Fife will be coming down pit road here in just a second, who had made his way up to 2nd place during all this pit stop cycling.
All this pit stop cycling stuff. And the 26 truck of Daniel Holloway as well is come down pit road. I think he's probably come down a couple laps earlier than he had to. And the 3 truck is taking 4 tires. So I'm surprised at that one.
Very interesting here, Trevor, to see the 3 truck take 4 tires. Not quite sure what the strategy is there.
The 36 truck has taken only 2 tires as Jacob Fife pulls back out on the track to try to gain some of that position. We mentioned earlier that he wasn't having the greatest race. I mean, I say that with the qualification of that he is twice the racer I will ever be, but for what we're used to seeing from Jacob Fife in that 36 truck, not as strong of a run as we're used to seeing, so he's playing some strategy to try to gain some track position here.
This is going to cycle the race lead back out to the 34 machine of Matt Busa when they come around and take go by the start-finish line. But Trevor, he's got company. That's 77, Andrew Fayesh III, all over the rear bumper with that 2-tire pit stop. And then it's like another 4 or so seconds, or rather 2 seconds or so back to the next guy in line, which will be the 91. And the 77 looking to the inside. He's going to try and take the race lead here as they head off into 1, and he will, as the 34 lets him go.
Yeah, and that was the strategy, I bet. I mean, he was thinking that all he needed was that little bit of track position to get up so he could actually compete with the 34, and he figured his 2 tires would be enough. I mean, the 34 does have better tires on that truck, but I think the 77 was thinking all I need to do is get close and let me do the rest of the work.
Yeah, so these two are going to be battling for the race lead, but they're going to have to be careful here, and I think both of them know that they can't get racing each other too much here until we get down the last 3 or 4 laps to go, because they'll let the 91 and the 88, who are only about 2 to 2.5 seconds behind, catch them in a hurry if they get to battling too much. So I would anticipate that the 34 will just try and stay right behind the 77 here for several laps.
Yeah, and we know that those other trucks that are strong, and if they catch them, like that 91, that 88, we know they've had a strong night. So if they catch them, then they can compete with them. And the 77 is getting a bit close on Alan Roll as he goes around to put him a second lap down, but they managed to make it through safely there.
Yep, Alan Roll gave the necessary room, as now the 77 is being chased by the 34 almost to the grass, as trying to break the draft there. We were talking about that a little bit earlier. It doesn't seem to work as well, though, as it does in the real big cup boys out there. So kind of every time it seems like they try and break the draft, it just seems like the other guy pulls up even closer.
Yeah, it's definitely. From watching, real world racing, so to speak, the guys try to do the same thing, and it never really seems to work for those guys either. Because when you get guys, in the real world who are as good at driving as these, as they are, and these sim racers who are as good as they are, they're not going to really lose much time. I mean, you're gonna follow along, and you're gonna maintain that draft, and really not lose that much position. But that doesn't mean that you're not going to try anyway.
Andrew Fayash III comes into tonight's race, Trevor, after only making 7 starts. This is his 8th start here tonight in the 77 machine here in the Integrity Racing League. He comes into tonight 18th in the point standings, but he has 4 victories in those 7 starts, and trying to pick up that 5th spot and put himself in position to try and get into the chase. So Andrew Fayash III is having a bang of season here, even with the minimum starts that he has made thus far.
Yeah, and that's not surprising. I mean, both you and I have spent a lot of time talking with Andrew. I mean, Andrew's a great guy. I mean, I talked to him a lot for the old podcast, trying to do an interview with him, and we know that he is a wheelman for sure. So not surprising to see him making the most of those 7 starts. So these guys have definitely got to look out for this. I'm going to go with world-class talent. I think I feel safe saying that.
Well, and he's also driving the number 77, and that makes him just that much better. But he's got company, though. That 34 truck, not letting him get out of his sights. But again, these two doing what they need to do in order to keep the current 3rd place man, which is the 88 of Michael Dole, way back there. And right now, Michael is about 3 seconds or so, and as soon as I say that, the 34 jumps to the inside, going to battle for the race lead as they head off into turn 1.
Wow, as they get into turn 1, 77 wisely gives room, knowing that he telling him that, you know what, I can stick to your bumper too, and I'm going to
not so fast.
Oh, maybe I was horribly wrong. I figured he'd just sit back there and wait to make the move, but 77 says, you know what, let's make this exciting for the fans, and let's just keep passing back and forth with this lead.
They almost made contact coming out of 2 there as they play cat and mouse down the back straightaway side by side into turn 3. 34 going to battle it, but now I think he's going to back in behind. Will he try the crossover? Yes, he will. Oh, no, he's not.
Yes, he will. No, not really.
But these two going out of there for a couple of laps, but Michael Dole falling back again as he's lost the spot now to Cody Kutzner in the number 91 machine. And remember, the 88 did not take tires, and thus far, even though he's still 4th, the strategy not working out as good as he'd probably hoped to put him in the battle for the race lead.
Yeah, but I mean, we know that Michael in that 88 truck was sitting in the in that top 5. So I mean, he's not really losing anything by doing this. So he's, you know what? It was a play to see if he could make it up a little bit further, but really didn't lose anything. So not a bad strategy call by him at all.
And also of note, the 23 machine, Christian has pulled himself into 5th now, passing the 96. Oh, the 77 got really loose, though. I'm sorry, I'm watching all kinds of things. There's all kinds of action going on here. But Christian Peterson is moving up, but unfortunately still 4.5 seconds back as Matt Busa in the 34 wants that race lead again. These two are just drag racing. It seems like every lap now. Well, on lap 72, they still got about 13 or 14 to go.
Yeah, and I think at this point in time, it's they know that unless something goes wrong, it's this race is going to be won between one of these two guys. And you know what? I think they're just out there having a lot of fun, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I bet that they are. It's always a lot of fun when you can be in the race lead, as Matt Busa almost goes to the grass. And that's going to allow the 77 to kind of creep to his outside. But actually, he really did get to his outside there. It seemed like, almost makes contact with the 34.
Ooh, looks
77
like a
got
little loose there. Yeah.
Yeah, boy, these guys are going after it. Do they not realize that this is an 85-lap race?
Yeah, this is not the last lap, but you know what? I mean, if you're going to have two guys out there, racing side by side and swapping the lead back and forth as they go to do it once again here, those two drivers. I mean, those two guys know they can trust each other, not to push the limits too far. So I think these guys are having a lot of fun just racing each other, knowing they can trust that other guy.
Boy, though, they better be careful here, Trevor, because they have gotten really close a couple of times to making contact. I would hate to see them accidentally make two. Oh, and we got a caution. We have a caution on the speedway. The 02 machine has spun it, and on our first caution here of the night, he has spun. It looks like down here in turns 1 and 2, if I'm not mistaken, here with the 02 machine. So backed it into the fence there a good little bit.
Wow, and I was going to say, and I don't want to be too cliche about this, but this changes everything.
Oh, yes, absolutely. So checking out the replay here, as we had like almost a 4 or 3 wide position. Looked like the 74, Michael Guest, jumped to the inside of the 01 and made contact, sending the 01 into the 02 truck. And that was pretty wild. 3 wide doesn't usually work at most tracks, but it definitely doesn't work going into turn 1 here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So as these guys found out, and unfortunately for the 02, he got the worst end out of all of that, backing that thing in the fence.
Yeah, actually, I'm surprised looking at that replay there that the 02 is really the only guy who got any damage in that, because, I mean, that could have turned into a disaster for all 4 of those guys that were right there. Now this is going to be interesting here as they've collected the pace car and they're getting ready to get to the entrance of pit road here in a few seconds. Who's going to come down? Who's going to get tires? Who's going to stay out? I mean, we've only got 10 laps left or so. Nobody needs fuel, so it's going to be a matter of are they going to take tires or not?
Yeah, I don't know, Trevor. This is going to be a very interesting call. I would imagine if we see a couple of the front runners come in, then we might see some guys towards the back try and stay out just for the track position. It looks like we've got some of our leaders coming down pit road. It looks like even all of them might be coming down the pits here. And in fact, they are.
Yeah, I'm actually, it's one of those things, I mean, the 34 being him, you're always afraid that as you come down, it's like, if nobody else follows me, who knows? Or, it's one of those things where you never know. But looks like all our leaders have headed down pit road. I'll make a quick check to make sure that nobody stayed out for strategy, and I would be surprised if anybody did.
And maybe Jacob Fife did stay out on the racetrack. We'll have to see that right now. See if anybody takes any strategy, 2 or 4 tires. What's it going to be? Crew chief, we'll see what happens here. Right side's going up here on all of our trucks that are on pit road. Looks like everyone wants 4 tires except the 96 and the 3. They're going to take 2 tires, and they will win the race off of pit road. 74, Michael Guest, who was also involved, sort of, anyways, in that caution just there, with a 7.9 second pit stop. So that was probably only right sides, and he's going to gain a ton of track position.
Yeah, that 34 did not look like his team put together a great pit stop when he needed it. The 77 beat him out, and he just looked a little bit slow, even though he when he was taking those 4 tires, he's going to have some good rubber on there, but I think his pit crew might have let him down a little bit there.
Now, interesting strategy taking place here, Mr. Cameron. I'm not sure if he will come down pit road at all or not during this caution, but the 36 machine, Jacob Fife, is the race leader right now. He did stay out, like I was just mentioning there, and he is going to assume the race lead, provided that he will stay out here. And this is a very interesting strategy here, Trevor, that we've got going on with Jacob Fife. So we'll have to see what happens, as we've made note several times tonight that he's not having that good of a night. So this is his opportunity with about 10 to go, maybe to get a shot at the victory.
Yeah, well, I mean, or at least a better position, because I mean he's been kind of sitting back between 13th, 16th all night. So we know these guys don't they don't need fuel. So it's one of those things where roll the dice, get a better position. You're going to finish 13th if you come down, or maybe you might finish 5th. Who knows?
Yep, so we'll have to keep an eye on that 36 here as he's staying out. So looks like Jacob Fife going to be the new race leader. Take a moment real quickly to remind you about the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, sponsoring the Integrity Racing League Rookie of the Year Award, which we were talking about a little bit there earlier. The Butt Kicker Gamer 2 lets you feel all the action from your games and simulators, feel the gut-wrenching punch of a machine gun fire, the pounding of chopper blades, the explosions, rumble strips, and much, much more. Turn down or turn off your subwoofer and still feel all the bass even while using your headphones. Give your game some realism. It's a silent subwoofer that lets you feel the explosions, crashes, and special effects. Get it all. Get that Butt Kicker Gamer 2 at thebuttkicker.com.
Out on the track, we have the 17 truck of Chris Freeman, one of our Rookie of the Year contenders. Got the lucky dog on that yellow flag here, so he'll be in 16th position. And the last car on the lead lap with Alan Roll now in the lucky dog position if we had a quick caution. But if we had a quick caution here, I'm not sure if we'd get going again, but we'll have to see. I mean, because this is going to be, I don't know, Chad. I mean, we've got the 36 out in front with old tires. We've got some strategy going here. We've got some very, very different tire strategies at the beginning of this field here. So I got a feeling this restart is going to be real interesting.
Yeah, and we learned there the reason why we're under caution. The 3 wide doesn't work, so we'll have to see if anybody does anything wild and crazy here on the restart, like possibly going 3 wide. But this is going to get really good here, as we currently have 10 to go, 9 to go when they come back around. And I would imagine that the pace lights will be off the top of the pace car as we come around this time by, so I anticipate we'll go back racing here with about 8 laps to go, and we would have to run about 4 laps or so in order for the race to end under caution if there was another one. So Jacob Fife, maybe he knows something, or he's at least trying to think that he knows something here about maybe we're going to get a couple of quick yellows and he might just waltz on into that victory lane.
Yeah, and just to update our fans here, we have Jacob Fife in the lead in the 36 truck. He did not come down pit road, so he has no tires on there. Well, he has tires on there, but they're old tires. We've got the 96, the 3, and the 74 in second through fourth position. Took 2 tires, and then we have Ander Fayas the third, and Matt Busa in fifth and sixth with 4 fresh tires. So we've got, like I said, varying strategies, and you know what? And the thing is, too, is even if you have the best intentions, where you're out front, you've made a strategy play, not for the win, but for a better finish. Now, even if you try to get out of the way, because we've documented several times during this race here how these turns narrow up. So even if you try to get out of the way because you're not as fast, there's no real room to do that, and that could cause a problem. So I think business is about to pick up, just to get another cliche in there before the night's done.
You're on a roll with those tonight.
Also, synergy and some other buzzwords as well, just to be safe.
All right, so Jacob Fife, Marcus Lampert leading them to the green. Patrick Davis and Michael Guest going to be in row 2 there. Michael Guest, a bit of an issue there with that caution there, helped trigger it. Not trying to point fingers at anybody. One day I'll learn how to talk, But so it'll be interesting to see if the 74 truck can try and make a move there here in the late going of the race.
All right, we're doubled up as you have anticipated. We will be going green this next time by, so just waiting for that pace car to head off and get this race back underway for probably our last restart.
Yep, gonna have 8 laps to go, like I mentioned there, a couple laps ago, I guess. But anyways, this should get really interesting, Trevor. 16 trucks currently shown on the lead lap here, so we're gonna have to see what happens. This pace car is off. Big jump already for race leader Jacob 5 as he's trying to get out of Dodge as quickly as he can so that he doesn't get past here, but we'll have to see if anybody can run him down.
Yeah, I'm not surprised to see him try to get as big of a jump as possible in order to get out there and get that fresh air.
We got
have
somebody
a
in
truck
the
down
grass.
on the
Big crash
access
back
lap
here.
and a crash as well.
08. Everybody saved it. Unbelievable. Wow. Oh, now we got one truck spinning out of control there. Boy, there for a minute I thought everybody was going to save that, and that was going to be incredible. But caution is out on the racetrack here. And it looks like the truck that was spinning out there, the 01 of Drew Carroll, lost control. I think also some other trucks were involved. The 08 looked like he was involved.
I say, not to interrupt you there, Chad, but I'm going to anyway. But that truck that we saw go down there and into the access lane and kind of not directly caused, but sort of caused, that was that 34 Matt Busar, a guy who has been, really dominant tonight. He was not involved in the accident per se, but he got loose, got off the track, and fell way back on that restart.
Yeah, he went down into the turn, and that was weird. He just kept going left. I'm not quite sure if... Didn't look like the 91 got into him, but 34 just went way down there, and like you said, got in the grass. The 01 made contact with the 08, and they all saved it, and then the 01 spun out there on the apron. So, that was about 3 wrecks throughout the entire field.
Yeah, like, I'm watching back. I mean, he just turned left on the access road. Like, I'm not entirely sure what that was all about.
Yeah, not really sure what's going on there either, Trevor, but he took out a bunch of cones there with him as well. So I don't know, maybe some steering failures in the 34 truck there, but that was really weird.
Yeah, and then like he just stayed right off the track.
Oh, and now the 34 is I don't know how to explain what he's doing on pit road right now. Just back and forth, bouncing off the wall there. That was interesting. So I don't know what's going on with the 34.
He's doing stuff.
Boy, that's interesting. But you only saw it here.
Only here in the Integrity Racing League, presented by ETV Live with Chad Dalton and Trevor Cameron up in the booth. You see the race leader doing donuts. Yep.
Woo! Well, that was interesting, but the 34 machine has jumped it out. He's back in the garage here, and we're going to see if we can grab a quick word with him here. Matt Booster, you got us?
I got you.
Hey, man, what happened there? You just went dead left, basically, and you were down there on the apron. Then we saw some weirdness on the pit road there.
Yeah, the second I shifted into 4th gear, it just blew up out of nowhere. It's the first time I ever had a random engine failure in iRacing. It's probably the worst time to have it.
Oh wow! Did not see that. So just blew the engine there, huh?
Yep. It wasn't even a missed shift. Just shifted at 9,000 RPMs as usual, and boom.
Oh well, that's a terrible break there for you. You had a very dominant truck there and was having a great race. So sorry to hear that about your engine there.
Yeah, it's all good. Better happen now than in some official race.
Yeah, I was going to say, Matt, you can blame me for that because I was talking about how you'd had some bad luck at the beginning of the season and we're turning it around and had a dominant race car here. And so that was all my fault, really. So I apologize for that because I put the jinx on you.
Well, unfortunately, that's the number 34 machine dominant truck here tonight out of the race, though. here with just about 5 or 6 or 7, somewhere in there, laps remaining here in the race. We appreciate Matt Busa coming down and talking with us there. I know that's got to be very frustrating for him, but that would explain the sudden left-hand turn.
Yeah, it probably it wasn't so much some mistake happened. That was a matter of he blew his engine and was trying to get out of the racing line as quickly as possible to not cause any other issues with the guys. So it was a courtesy left turn to try to get out of the way. So. Just to mention, though, the Allen roll, not just any Allen roll, but the Allen roll of the 94 truck was the lucky dog on that caution that caused theirs to get him back on the lead lap. So he'll have at least a better finish here. Also, Jacob Fife is looking like a genius here all of a sudden, because now he is still leading the race with very few laps to go, and we showed that he can get that initial jump and get out in front of the track, or in front of the pack here, and that's all it's going to take is just get out in front and try to get that little bit of space while the guys in second on back try to fight it out for position. And Jacob could end up looking like the savant here in this situation, and end up with a finish way better than his race truck had started out at.
Yeah, Trevor, he's definitely looking pretty good right now, like you were saying. So maybe he is a genius, and the rest of us have no idea what we're doing. But the pace lights atop the pace car are still on, and that means we've got at least 2 to green. So I would anticipate that when we come back around here this next time by, that we'll get the 1 to go signal. So we should be going back green with 3 laps to go. And I mean, Trevor, if another wreck were to happen and Jacob Fife comes out of turn 1 or 2 with the race lead, you never know. He could end up with the race win. Gonna step away and take a quick commercial break here, and we'll be right back for the finish of the race. And welcome back here live to Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the Integrity Racing League, lining up here as the lights are off atop the pace car. And we're going to double file them up here, Trevor, and turn them loose. 16 cars or so still on the lead lap here, and you never know what can happen. They could all go into turn 1 and wad up, and somebody back there in about 15th or so could end up winning. So anything can happen here, and probably will. But the 36 Jacob Fife, like we were talking about there before the commercial break, is looking pretty smart, at least for the moment, as he decided to stay out under our first caution of the night, and currently has the race lead. And if we get another quickie yellow and he's still in first place, he's going to come out of here looking like a big-time genius.
Yeah, I mean, we're in checkers or wreckers situation here. I mean, the next flag will end this race. I mean, if there's another caution, we will not have enough time to restart the race. So I think this race is all going to come down to if Jacob can get a good jump on this field. If he can get that jump and get out in front and clear of that 3 truck, then I think that will be the race right there. If he cannot, then those guys with the fresher tires, I think, are going to eat him up, and we're going to end up with a 3 wide going into turn 1. So if Jacob gets that jump, everything's great. If he does not, then we're going to have a wad of trucks going to turn 1, and probably only half of them are going to make it out.
It's going to get good here, folks, so don't go anywhere, because we're going to have some crazy racing here. Remember, on the last restart, they didn't make it until the middle of 1 and 2, so we'll have to see what happens on this restart. As the field coming through turn 4, going to come out here and get the green flag. 3 laps remain. when they cross the stripe here. So we'll see if Jacob 5 can get that huge jump that we saw him get last time. Pace car is eventually, there it goes, turns off, and Jacob 5 with a big jump. 3 truck did not get a good start, and a bit of a lane change there from the 74. I don't think that's allowed in the rule book, but Jacob 5 with an excellent start, and he's gotten about 4 car lengths ahead now as the 96 going to try and chase him down, and there it is. Michael Guest, the 74, has been black flagged for the lane change.
Yeah, that was a pretty easy call on that one, and that's unfortunate. I mean, the 3 truck did not get a jump. He felt he had to move in order to get around him, and that's when instinct kicks in rather than thinking about the rules. You're just thinking, hey, that truck is slow and out of the way. I got to get around him. As we have a jump for third position as the 91 gets around the 3. The 77 tries to stuff it in there, but does not quite make it, and Jacob has enough of a lead here. I think he might pull this off.
Yeah, but that 96 is stalking him as they're going to come out of turn 4. Just about a truck length separates these two. Is a bit of a battle back here. The 77 now trying to dive into third. Jacob 5 is going to be under fire here in just a second from the 96. 96 to the outside. Doesn't go for it, though. There's now just 2 laps remain here, Trevor. That 96 is all over Jacob 5. There he goes to the inside, looking for the race lead. 96 of Marcus Lambert trying to go for the race lead, but he's got to make quick work of him because 3 truck in the wall back here. Big crash is about to happen. 391.
This is going to be interesting to see how the field gets done, because as we go caution, we'll see.
Nope. Yep, caution's
out on the track.
And now who is ahead? Because they were at a dead tie, the 96 and the 36. And it looks like, man, I'm not sure. Somebody, I don't know who was ahead at the time of the caution. We're going to see what scoring does, but I think the 96.
Yeah,
because the 96 was ahead.
Because they were side by side going through that corner there, so we'll have to see how when timing and scoring catches up, and the NASCAR officials up in the booth take a look at the tape and see who's going to win this race. I think it's going to be the 96, but even if the 36 does not pull off that victory, going from mired in the mid pack to to second place finish has got to feel like a victory for him.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, to tell you what, though, Marcus Lambert barely had a nose there on the 36 of Jacob 5. When they were entering turn 3, right when the caution came out, I was watching it, waiting for the report in my ear that the caution was officially out, and the 96 was barely ahead of Jacob 5, and I mean barely.
Still, that was a heck of a strategy play on his behalf in order to secure a really good finish there. I mean, looking back through the pack there, Michael Duell looks like he's going to finish in 5th position, I believe. So Jacob chipping away at that lead just a little bit more with some strategy. When the night started off, it looked like he was going to end up losing a lot of positions to the 88 in the points there, but looks like he's going to end up actually gaining some spots. So great job by that pit crew and that crew chief up on that box.
Boy, and it almost paid off. If he had been just a tick ahead there of the 96 machine right when the caution came out, he'd have won this race after running about 13th or 14th the entire time. But didn't happen, lost out by just a bit, but second place is an excellent run compared to where he was. And Marcus Lambert is going to take the victory here. And I tell you what, he deserves it because he had a pretty fast truck tonight. Didn't lead the most laps, but he had a fantastic truck, that's for sure. Drove up from 10th starting position to win the race.
Yeah, and after that first set of pit stops there, he'd actually fallen back off that pack a little bit, and looked like his great run was going to be a little bit in danger based on the way that he was running there, but managed to play the cautions, play the strategies, and end up with that victory. So that is a great run for that 96 truck.
And a great friend too,
It's a great run. It's a great run. It's just great. I'm just so excited for Marcus. Really, that's what I'm trying to get across.
Well, Marcus Lambert is your race winner tonight in the Integrity Racing League, and he's going to come around here eventually as he knocks out a bunch of cones and come around to the start-finish line and burn him down. And we'll show you the fantastic burnout that we should see from him, and take a quick commercial break and then come back for our Pro Powder and Paint Post Race Show. So Marcus
Yeah.
Lambert going to make his way around. Sorry, I'm just talking and you're
Oh, I
trying
know.
to...
I was going to say, I mean, you got to breathe eventually, but I was going to say, I wonder if with the new updates to the sim there, with the cones being, objects they can actually hit, I wonder if that's going to become the new burnout. It's like, you know what, sure, I can burn down the rubber and I can make a big old smoke trail on the front stretch, but you know what? I'm just going to take as much cones to victory lane with me as I can.
Oh yeah, gotta take some orange cones there with you to victory lane. But I tell you what, special to win here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I know that the 96 truck is going to really burn it down here as he's doing it on the front straightaway. That's got to be one of the bigger wins of his career, I'd imagine. Running at Indianapolis, historic track, and one of those places that a lot of people want to win at. A lot of history here, so 96 truck adding his name to that list.
Yeah, and that will be his first victory of the Integrity Racing League season so far. He's this will be his 7th start here. He's had 3 top 10s, 1 top 5, and now he has a victory to add to that list. So hasn't had a banner season, so to speak. I mean, no victories yet, but so that's going to make this field just a little bit more special.
Yep, so we're going to head to commercial break. We'll be right back with your Pro Powder and Paint post-race show, so don't go anywhere. We're coming right back.
Join 5,000 plus other listeners where you can hear everything from big 80s metal to classic rock and roll, country radio, ETV, live sports radio, even adult and unplugged rock and roll. HDRadioNetwork.com, one of the fastest growing internet radio networks. HDRadioNetwork.com. Take it with you, cowboy. Get the mobile app for Android, iPhone, iPad, and all the rest from TuneIn.com.
And welcome back to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway here on ETV Live. I almost did it again, but I didn't do it. I stopped myself.
ETV Live something.
Yeah, we're not on the radio. So anyways, welcome back to Indianapolis here where the Integrity Racing League just finished up a fantastic race here with the 96 of Marcus Lambert taking the checkered flag there. Had to make a pass on Jacob Fife there in the last few laps, who had an excellent strategy that almost got him the win. Missed out by a couple of feet, but we're going to catch up with our top 3 finishers here tonight. And I'm standing by currently with Andrew Fayesh III here, who comes home in 3rd in that number 77 truck. Andrew, you had a great run tonight. Took a strategy there before we had a couple of cautions there to end the race. Think you had anything there at the end for the 96 and 36 for the race win?
Oh, definitely. I mean, I took 4 tires that last stop. They all played pit strategy there. I don't blame them. If I'd have taken 4 on the green flag stop, I would have taken 2 at the end. But, I took 2 on the last green flag stop to catch up with Matt, and it worked. And I was actually a little surprised. But, then I had to take 4. It forced my hand for later with the caution. But I definitely had something for him. Just that restart. I mean, the admins took action. They black flagged the guy, but I believe it was Michael switched lanes before the start finish, and I had to check up, and then he went to give it back and go back up high, and there was a car that was outside, so he checked up again, and I mean, I lost all kinds of ground before we even got to turn 1. I'm just a little disappointed with the last few cautions, but what can you do?
Yeah, it's fortunately it's a part of racing sometimes, but still a good finish for you here tonight at third. Any sponsors you want to throw a quick shout out to while we're on the air?
No real sponsors, honestly. What I have on the truck is just, you know, just because I like it. It's not really, paid sponsor or anything. But I'd like to thank the guys for putting this on. It's their 1-year anniversary for this league, and I mean, I don't know where exactly they started, but they certainly have good standing within a short amount of time in my book. So definitely appreciate them putting this all on and broadcasting as many races as they do and you guys do for us. But it's a pretty cool deal.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is Andrew Fash III, who comes home in third here tonight in that 77 truck with a solid effort, but comes up a little bit short. And I believe that one Trevor Cameron is caught up with one Jacob Fife, who pulled a crazy strategy and it paid off.
That's right. I am the one, Trevor Cameron, and I am here with the driver of the 36 truck, Jacob Fife. First off, obviously, congratulations on the 1-year anniversary of Integrity Racing League. You've got to be pretty proud for that. But I've got to say, from up here in the booth, for us non-driving kind of guys, you look like a genius right now with that second place finish.
Tonight was the most interesting night I've had in the 1-year existence of Integrity Racing League. Started out the race in the back because for whatever reason it decided not to count my qualifying lap. And then I had to plug away through the field. And I got all the way up to, before the caution started falling, I got all the way up to around 10th, give or take. The first caution that happened was right in front of me. And I hadn't been up front all night. I knew I had to do something different. I wasn't going to gain much more restarting in 10th. So threw caution to the wind and just said, all right, we're going to try this and see what happens. At worst, I'm probably going to be back where I was anyway. So I, took a chance and I was lucky enough it paid off. Almost got me the win, but I'm glad it paid off the way it did. A good point tonight.
Yeah, I was going to say, definitely with, we were watching your progress throughout the night there, and like you said, mired kind of back in 10th to 13th position all night, and, looking at the way Michael was running, it looked like you were going to lose some ground to him, but in the end, you gained some spots, so definitely a good run. How nervous were you on that last couple of restarts there with knowing that you had no tires and you had some guys with 2 tires and 4 tires behind you? Did you think that you were going to be able to get those 2 good jumps and actually get ahead of the field?
Well, the racer in me was praying that everybody wrecked in a big calamity right off the start into turn 1, and I win. The league owner and admin in me, you want to see it to go green all the way, especially with the way we started the race. As far as the actual finish goes, I knew I could get the restarts. Holding them off would be a whole different story. I didn't think I would be able to hold, kind of like Andrew was saying, the guys with 4 tires, I wasn't expecting to hold off. That's kind of a crapshoot. But like I said, it was a chance I was willing to take. I wasn't going to gain any more by staying back in 10th. So, like I said, the gamble paid off, and it really was, a good gamble.
Yeah, well, definitely it did pay off, and I think you've got a lot to be proud of with this league here. I know that Chad and I have enjoyed being up here broadcasting your guys' races. I think this turned into exactly what you were envisioning, I think, when you started this race 1 year ago. So again, congratulations on that, and anybody that you want to thank. As we sit here in Victory Lane, or just to the side of it, I guess. Anybody want to thank and who makes it happen for that 36 truck?
Yeah, definitely do. First of all, I do want to thank you guys for coming out and doing as many broadcasts as we do. It's fun. It enhances the league. Most importantly, I really want to thank the guys who really make it happen each week. For us, it's our members who are able to come out each week and do this type of racing. You don't get this clean racing in most places you go to. You just don't. The drivers we have here are great. They back our league up pretty much 100%. I don't have too many who gripe and complain and all that stuff, which makes it easy on me and Duel. But I want to thank them. I'm very happy with where our league is at, and very happy to where it looks like our league is going. So I want to thank all of our members, and I want to thank our admins, Michael Dool, Chris Freeman, and Jeff couldn't be here tonight. He's enjoying Daytona Beach right now. But Jeff Barger, I want to thank them. They all work and do a great job. They all help me out tremendously. And like I said, just, we're doing great things, and I'm very happy for that.
All right, so congratulations to Jacob Fife on the year anniversary and the second place finish with a brilliant strategy play at the end here. And I believe that Mr. Chad Dalton has caught up with our winner, the 96 truck of Marcus Lambert.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm down here in the historic Victory Lane here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway with the 96 truck, who we had to call and get him to come to Victory Lane because he's been doing so many burnouts out there. But Marcus, you led 9 laps tonight, but that doesn't really matter because guess what? You led the most important one. Tell us about the end of that race for you.
The end of the race was definitely scary. I managed to be the first car to come out of pit road with 2 tires, had me right behind Jacob, but that put me on the outside, and I didn't get a great restart the first time, and I forget who exactly got around me, but I was put back into third on that first restart, and then the caution came out, so I got lucky and was able to start right behind Jacob. And then the second restart came out, and I mean, we were door to door when the final caution came out, and I had him by a couple inches, so it was definitely exciting and scary all at the same time.
Well, that's probably the best way that anyone can describe that. I mean, that was pretty wild there going down the back straightaway. When we saw up here in the booth, we saw the guys back at the back wrecking. I immediately focused on you and Jacob, and you guys were definitely door to door, and you barely beat him out there for the race win. But hey, take him any way you can get him. So started back in 10th there, Marcus. Had to work your way up through the field, a little bit of the field anyways, but you made quick work of it. You had a fast start to the race, ran inside the top 5 all night long.
Yeah, I actually caught quite a few breaks this race. I screwed up my qualifying lap, not horribly, but enough to send me back to 10th, which is not where I wanted to qualify, but the drivers who were starting in 8th and 6th both had to serve EOLs, so I got to move up to the 3rd row on the outside, and that managed to allow me to run in the top 5 for the first half of the race. And then after pit stops, I found myself still in the 5th, 6th area, and Matt and Andrew were gone, so I was only really fighting for 3rd. But then the caution came out, managed to play the pit strategy right, and then got lucky with, the instant I passed Jacob, the caution came out. I didn't even know I had won it until my spotter told me to pass I forget what number he is, but whatever number he is, spotter told me to go around him, and that's when I knew I won it.
Well, that's got to be a great feeling, especially to win at Indianapolis, one of the historic racetracks, as we talked about all night long. A lot of great winners here, so congratulations on the win. And who do you want to thank, any sponsors or anyone out there?
I don't have any personal sponsors, but I definitely got to thank Pro Pattern Paint and Butt Kicker for coming on and sponsoring the IRL. And, of course, Jacob, Michael, and all the admins for everything they do with the website, adminning the races. They go by the rule book for everybody. They don't play favorites. And they just put on a great show every night. And then you guys for broadcasting, of course.
Well, absolutely agree with that on the Integrity Racing League. So appreciate the interview there, Marcus. Congratulations once again on a fantastic win and a great run here tonight.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is your race winner here tonight. Marcus Lambert putting on a show there at the end, barely sneaking out the victory over Jacob Fife. And Trevor, any final thoughts before we wrap up the broadcast here?
Well, I just wanted to say that was ended up being a much a pretty interesting race. I mean, we had in the end we kind of talked about it at the beginning, and it ended up that strategy did play into the race here. We had some good racing with these guys, and we had I don't know, it's a shake-up in the points, but we had some people gaining some positions, some guys losing some positions. We had Matt Busa, who unfortunately had some issues there at the very end after being a dominant truck, and ended up finishing, looking at my scoring here, looks like 19th position. So that was huge for him, a big hit in the points, because, I mean, as we mentioned at the beginning, he was fighting to get into a chase position and looked like he was well on his way. We got lots of time left to go before we get to the chase there, but an interesting race, and had a lot of fun calling it up here in the booth.
Yeah, absolutely. And also a shout out to the 23 machine of Christian Peterson for climbing his way to a 4th place finish. We've been following him most of the race, so good to see him get a top 5 out of that. But good night up here in the broadcast booth, like you said, Mr. Cameron. So looking forward to our next broadcast race, and also looking forward to the Integrity Racing League's near future here and getting closer to that chase and seeing what happens here with the rest of the season. So I do believe that our next broadcast race is going to be
at Milwaukee. Yeah, I was gonna say I was just queuing it up right here. The Milwaukee Mile on August the 24th. On that's another, of course, Saturday night, same time. That'll be 9:30 Eastern time. We'll go live just shortly before then, so we can catch this as they're finishing qualifying. So we got a little bit of a break here in the summer here before we head back, and then. Wow, looking at the schedule, my friend, Mr. Dalton here, looks like once we go to Milwaukee, there's no turning back. We're basically on the air every Saturday right from then on in. So take your breath, take your bit of a break from us, moving forward here, because once we get to Milwaukee, you're going to have us in your ears every Saturday night from August till November.
Yeah, so looking forward to that. But I believe that that will do it here until August 24th. Everyone out there, stay safe, have a good one, and we'll see you next time up here in the broadcast booth. For Chad Dalton, Trevor Cameron, JD Webb, and Laura Lassa pushing all the buttons here tonight. Thanks for joining us, and we hope you enjoyed it. We had a fantastic one on hand here tonight at Indy. We will see you next time from the Milwaukee Mile. Have a good one, folks.
Good night.